I'm Monica Garcia, President of the LAUSD Board of Education, and welcome to Families Matter. Joining me today are my co-host, Maria Casillas, the Chief of School, Family, and Parent Community Services, and Board Member Nuri Martinez. Our goal is to provide information so families can help their children graduate and stay safe in school. Today's topic is arts education and the difference it makes in our lives of all of our students. Joining us shortly will be Dr. Stephen McCarthy, LAUSD K-12 Arts Coordinator, Greg Ayers, Executive Director of Urban Arts, and Dan Chang of the LA Fund for Public Education. But first, a chance for us to talk about the latest and greatest regarding LAUSD and families. Well, ladies, what's new and exciting?
Well, I think one of the most exciting things that will happen for our families and for our schools is this Million Word Challenge, which is a challenge to all the students in Los Angeles Unified to read books, many, many books, millions of books outside of school time. This is the pleasure of reading, the pleasure of stories, you know, letting their imaginations flow. So we have in Los Angeles developed a very strong partnership with many community organizations and Target, who will help us fund this event and help us produce, you know, these millions and millions of word readers in our schools.
Beautiful.
So the challenge is to sign up for the schools need to sign up next week, beginning next week actually, and kids need to start reading like crazy. Out of school time is what we're looking for, and they will win many, many prizes, and the schools will also win prizes. So the schools win, the teachers at that school win, and the families win, and of course, students win. Why? Because reading is the key to success in life.
And who's providing the books for the students? Are they taking them
well,
out of the library?
The books can be had from anywhere. They can go to the library. Teachers help keep track. Somebody's got to keep track, like how many books are you reading? You know, when I was little, I tell you, I used to read a lot, and in the summer I'd join these reading programs. They'd give me a star, and I'd walk all the way home with my star, right here. But these kids get a gift card. You know, forget the little star.
Yeah,
they get a gift card. They can go to the Los Angeles Book Festival, which will be held in April.
I love that.
So that is a wonderful place. They can go with their gift card and buy books there. Or they can take their gift card and buy books at Target stores.
Yes.
However, this is to promote reading, to make reading an exciting and enjoyable activity, one that has a great payoff.
So this starts next month, so we need to get the word out.
Next week.
Next week.
Next week.
So we need to get the word out to all of our schools.
The Million Word Challenge.
Million Word Challenge.
And they ask all the adults to take the pledge that you'll read a million books.
Yes, so
well, part of it is that we need to be reading with our children.
Right.
You know,
and we
so
need
family
to take that
reading
pledge.
is an important,
Family reading is important. I always tell the kids that one board book is a good 500,000.
Yeah, but
words.
that's not fun.
we want to make it fun for kids to read.
Great.
So the other exciting thing, I think, as a parent, safety, school safety for all of our kids is a priority for the school district. And we just announced that we were going to be hiring over 1,000 campus aides to help with the security of the schools, particularly in elementary school. For those elementary schools who are down to maybe no campus aides to help, just be the eyes and the ears of safety issues on campus. For those schools who don't have a person on campus, they will be getting two. For those schools who have one, they will be getting an additional body there to help us. Just be the eyes and ears of school safety. In case some stranger walks onto campus, there's someone that is coordinating that effort, and there is a plan, an emergency plan that the school can develop and coordinate with the campus aides and our parents. So that's a very, very good positive thing.
And it's the first time in a long time that we're hiring anybody.
And why can we do that? Thanks to the voters of LA County, LA City, and the state of California. Prop 30 has allowed us to then be able to hire over 1,000 campus aides to be able to provide safety in some of our elementary schools.
I want to say that this is not just for safety, but that it actually, when the school principal can take time to focus on the academic program because he knows he's got people to help with other things, it really dedicates more of the time for the purpose that we want our principals to serve, and that is to service leaders.
And some schools haven't been able to afford that extra body or two, so this is a $4 million investment in public safety at our schools. So
and again, thank you, Los Angeles.
That's right. Thank you to the voters who made this a priority.
Yes, and I think the last announcement is our Arts Matters campaign is happening, and the fund, we'll hear more from Dan Chang, but we're absolutely committed in LA. We've heard from our arts community. We need to support the programs in our schools. We need to partner with all our arts institution. And I know Nuri tells us the impact
all the
it made
stories
on
and
her.
all the impact it made on me. But we just launched the second installment of Arts Matter in Los Angeles. Is we partnered with a local Los Angeles artist, John Balestari, who transformed 12 MTA buses into school buses, yellow buses, to promote arts and education in LAUSD and in all of our public schools in Los Angeles, and the importance it is to save these programs now at schools. So I think it's a great, great, interesting, fun campaign to increase awareness on arts integration programs. So that's good.
And his big message to the students, learn to dream, aprende a soñar.
Yep, that's the
and dream big, dream big. We'll be right back to discuss arts education in the LAUSD. But first, a look at some of our students already participating in arts programs around the district.
You put out to get in. Now you watch your mouth, Miss Effie White, cause I don't take that talk from no second-rate diva who can't sustain. I'm not feeling well, I got paid. I'm feeling I got paid. I sat with you, I was your sister. You are so
way back before this campus was even built, people were thinking about how do we revive the arts and help the arts grow and help all of our students and their families in East LA. And this auditorium was designed, and our beautiful amphitheater was designed as a place for the arts to have a home in East LA.
Today we have presentations, workshops, performances from students and from schools across the district and all of our community partners, and we're just very happy that we were able to have it today.
We feel that arts are so important for kids these days because it's a great way to express yourself, primarily from my perspective. There's a lot of pressure to perform academically, and arts is just a way that can be a release for some people, but even beyond that, what I'm doing specifically here today, it's a great way to learn about other cultures and other parts of the world, right? I'm here doing Bollywood. Bollywood is from India, right? And we're here in East LA, and how often can kids come around and say that they actually got to take a Bollywood dance class? So it's pretty exciting to be here today at this festival.
Welcome back to Families Matter. Joining us now to discuss the importance of arts in education are Dr. Stephen McCarthy, LAUSD K-12 Arts Coordinator, and Dan Chang of the Los Angeles Fund for Public Education. Welcome, gentlemen. How fun to see the kids performing.
That was great.
That's my life.
It is.
And we want it to be everybody's life.
That's right.
That's right.
That's it.
Dan, tell us about raising awareness and the work of the fund here in LA.
Absolutely. So, we're excited. Last October, we launched the Arts Matter campaign, and really to highlight the importance of arts education for every student here in this city. We live in the creative capital of the world. Absolutely, creativity, being a problem solver, thinking outside of the box. Like ultimately, that's what we want every LA Unified student to graduate with, and that's a skill that can be taught. And arts education is sort of proven to be the best way to get there. And so we're trying to bring awareness to everybody in the city that that's the way to go. And the timing of when we launched our campaign was just perfect. I mean, I think with the Arts at the Core resolution and just the leadership that Nuri showed, and with Monica getting a 7-0 vote on the board, I mean, timing was everything. And we're just happy to do our part to bring as many resources to the game as possible. And you highlighted the bus earlier on, and that bus was created by John Baldessari, who is one of LA's most renowned artists. He's world famous. In October, we had Barbara Kruger, another world famous artist, donate her talents. And this summer we'll have another artist who I can't reveal yet, but also world famous, is going to be part of the campaign. So we're excited to generate as much interest from the arts community as possible to support LA schools.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Stephen, LA, or Dr. McCarthy, LA schools we want partners, and we want to see arts in our district.
Well, it is impossible for us to do it alone. It is such a large district. Fortunately, Nuri's known me a long time, and when I had my theater class in San Fernando Middle School, hello everybody, it was so important to partner. I showed up there, and there were 3,000 kids at the time at the school, and I said, how can one person teach theater to everyone? Because I thought that was my job. So I reached out to the partners, and you know what? Every child in that school was introduced to theater. They all learned that the comedy tragedy masks were actually comedy tragedy, not play now, cry later. And so I was able to educate the kids, but I relied on the partners, and that's what LAUSD is doing, and I couldn't be more thrilled. The collaborations, the partnerships with the LA Fund, this has been wonderful. He's a wonderful person, and Melissa and Megan, they're great because they're opening the doors to professional opportunities in our schools. They're actually going to be offering grants to some of our major arts institutions to go into our schools and work with the future arts leaders of the world. Why shouldn't our children have these opportunities? We have major companies looking to hire creative people, and they have to go out of the country to find those people. I tell you, we have these children right here in our district, and they deserve these jobs.
Right, and what would you tell parents what do parents need to know about arts and arts education?
Arts education will spark creativity, an interest to learn, to explore, to try, to maybe fail, but then find out why they failed. And the great thing about art is when I ask a question about a piece of art, they'll tell me, I like it, or I don't like it. Why? There's no wrong answer. And they have to defend the choice. The exciting part about that is with the Common Core standards coming up, they are going to be, it is necessary for them to defend and analyze and critique. And we are giving them those basic skills to be able to bring that to life. And when a child is successful in anything, they feel that. They want to be successful in anything. So if I have a child that may not be achieving in anything in the other subjects, but they could be successful with music or visual arts or dance or theater, they say, hey, I can do this. I feel good about myself. I can do this other thing. Because once they've tasted success, that's contagious. It does.
It transfers, yes.
You know what's so interesting about this work as well is so many of us think as arts is a separate curriculum. It's sort of it's the sort of extracurricular activities that a student might be exposed to at a school. The beautiful part about our partnership is really the arts integration component of this. It's how do you integrate arts as a core subject, and how do you integrate it with math and history and English and the rest of the subject matters at school, because there's a creative way to learning, and not all kids learn the same way. And what makes this such a beautiful fit between the fund and raising the money is the necessary training that we need to provide for teachers, for that teacher to be able to teach art through math, or to be able to teach the sciences through perhaps, a dance production or, a painting or something. But there needs to be another way to figure this out. So what do we say to teachers who perhaps don't have the necessary training yet, but that the district needs to provide the professional development to be able to roll this out in a way where teachers, that's the teaching part is what is important as well.
This is very important. Beginning February 23rd, my department is actually offering a 4-Saturday professional development opportunity for teachers, and we're going to do it again in the summer, where we are asking generalist teachers to come and play with us for 4 days. They'll focus on a different art form each day. They can earn 2 salary points, which moves them up the pay scale, and they will learn the foundation of the art form in the morning, and then how to integrate it with the Common Core standards and through science, math, social studies, and language arts. I'm very passionate about integration because we are such a huge district. To be able to offer the arts to every child in our district, we would need so much money, and I think discrete instruction is very important. But until we have all that money, we need to be able to reach all children. So if I could give the foundational skills to the generalist teachers to be able to bring it in, bring the arts into their school, into their subject areas, we're going to reach more kids. The other important thing is, if you ask a child, you read a story, tell me about this story, tell me what happened in this story, and the child isn't able to verbalize it. They don't know. You ask them to write it, and they're not able to write it. And you say, you know what, let's get up here. Let's do a tableau, which is a frozen statue. Show me what that child was thinking. So they show you, and all of a sudden, they know the answer. So comprehension is not the problem. Now I've been able, as the teacher, to identify the problem. So we can reach the kids.
We recently visited a number of students across LAUSD to learn how the arts impact their lives, and here's what we learned from that visit.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I feel that art helps my other academic subjects because I can use it in certain things such as helping myself study. I can use it in a song. I could use it in a poem. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York.
Arts is important because I like to move and have fun.
Arts is a way to express the feelings that I have, and it's a place where I feel safe and I could do what I want to do.
A miracle it is for me to live 100 years. It only takes like 40 to meet 1,000 peers, you see.
It's a place where you can go, close the door, and nobody's gonna judge you for for the way that you act or who you are.
My dream is to grow up and perform, and I love to do it, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna grow up to be a performer.
I enjoy the whole idea of being able to make my own videos and being able to make my own special effects. I want to be a cameraman, director, and screenwriter, and that is the job that I've been waiting for.
The fact that we can all come together and change, make a difference, it's powerful. We work so hard to put a performance together, however long it is, but in the end, it's all worth it.
Welcome back. Joining us now to continue our discussion on the arts is Greg Ayers, Program Manager of Urban Arts. Welcome, Mr. Ayers.
Thank you for having me.
Greg, and we just heard the student tell us this is what matters.
Yeah, the job that's waiting for him.
The job that is, it just brings out the best in a person, right?
Good. Bring it on.
That's always a good thing. Yeah.
I think exactly, I mean, you feel like you're doing your job when a student that you've had in your program can come up and take your job and replace you and keep it going. So I'd be happy for him to take my job. And I love when the young lady in the video says how empowering it is, the arts, how empowering they make her feel. And I think that's something that's so important and something that keeps me motivated in doing the work that I do.
You know, one of the things that we need to remember is that the arts also provide students with the ability to assess and think more critically, and then to use language that isn't just at this very basic level. And for English learners, and we talked about English learners a while back, we need to provide this kind of an opportunity for them to relate with concrete ways with the world around them and bring in the arts so that they can speak to something even when they're developing their ability to think in that language. So I one time in Los Angeles Unified visited a school that had set aside a room to have a museum for kids. And I wasn't sure what I was going to see, but I visited and saw all the paintings that they had done, and these little students, this was an elementary school, walked by each one of their paintings and explained to me in very good English. They were struggling really to learn English, but this was very good English. They could tell me about the shape, the hue, the color, why that had to be brighter orange than deep yellow. And I was so amazed at how brilliant these children were. And I always have attributed it to their arts education in that school. It was wonderful.
They are our future docents.
Absolutely. Yes.
And Greg, we actually brought him from New York. He is part of a wonderful program called Urban Arts, and they actually work in arts integration in some of our schools. He's at Artez in your district. He's at East LA Performing Arts School in your district.
Excellent. Good work. Good work.
Thanks. We love our LA partner schools. In New York, we're one of the largest arts education organizations, and we specialize in arts integration. So it's something we're really passionate about. And in fact, our mission is to advance the intellectual, artistic, and social development of underserved students in order to close the achievement gap. And we do that using arts integration programs.
So in New York, do you work in all schools, or do you have certain partnerships, or how does that work?
We have partnerships in many schools all over the different boroughs of New York, and our programs, the arts integration ones happen during the school day, and it happens in science classrooms, English language arts classrooms, history, math, social studies, and all of the art forms are integrated into the academic content area.
So tell us about that integration piece, and how does that look like at Artez or at Torres?
Okay, that's great. So I was just at Artez this morning, and
school, huh?
It's a fantastic school. I love the school, great students. And I was watching a visual artist integrate into a world history class. And so the students were drawing storyboards using like a comic book style storyboarding technique that the artist taught them to tell about important historical events like the American Revolution and the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And so the teacher was going to use this as a reflection tool to see what the students had learned from the material they covered before.
Wow.
So, and then I was at East LA Performing Arts Academy yesterday watching a dancer integrate into an English classroom. So it's really limited by, it's unlimited, the possibilities.
Right. So what do families need to know? I think there's a component here of what they can advocate for in their schools, because it seems every few years when we're short on funds, one of the first things to go have been our arts programs.
But I'm not going to let that happen again, because through integration, we make sure that everyone has that capacity.
Correct.
And that's very important. We can't solely rely on people who have the bachelor degree in theater or music.
Right.
We need those people.
So that's something that parents, I think, as advocates for their children's learning, need to know and understand.
right.
That's one thing. And then the other thing is that parents support education in their home. I mean, most of the research will confirm that it's what parents and families do in their homes that impacts how students perform in school, or it influences it. So what kind of advice would we give families who notice that their children may be artistically inclined or like to dabble with Crayolas or with paints or like to dance with music, whatever.
Support them and participate in that. Because just like we ask parents to read to their children, participating and dancing with their children. Remember, your children are not going to be young forever. So you need to just support that. There are also so many free and low-cost opportunities here in this great city we live in for people to bring their children to LACMA, to MoCA, and walk around and talk about the paintings. I brought my two nephews, who were at the time 5 and 7, to MoCA, and it was a modern art exhibit. And they're standing in front of a painting, and the older one said, "I don't like this. It talks about death." And the little one said, "Wherever there's death, there must be life."
Oh my
and
goodness.
It was amazing.
Yes.
And the docent there said to me, "Are you an art teacher?" And I said, "Yes, I am." But I had not taught them, so I'm not going to take credit for that. But to hear children talk about that and to see the world. Every year I would bring my kids down to the LA Opera for a free performance, and we would sit in the loge, and we'd have beautiful seats, and we'd see La Boheme, and every one of my children saw at least 3 pieces by Puccini before they left San Fernando Middle School.
Yeah.
And opening the world to our children so they don't feel limited by only what they see in their immediate surroundings, because every one of our children deserves this. They deserve it because the future depends on them. We can go to war, we can fight all we want in other countries, but if there isn't something here worth fighting for, you know, why fight?
And then, you know, art, music, art, movies brings the world together. I mean, the theme of art, whatever it is, whatever its topic, is what helps us connect as human beings. So I think that's something that we want to stress to our families, the importance of that. Many families might be afraid to think that their children are interested in the arts and that, oh my gosh, but they're not going to find a job.
But the skills are applicable to other skills.
And sometimes they think it's it's not part of the school, and it's an activity apart from the core subject matter.
Or that it's fun.
Right.
It's just fun.
Right.
It's fun but meaningful.
My favorite skill is confidence, right? When I see these
Oh
students
my
perform,
gosh.
whether they're reading
They
their
can get on
poem or
stage and,
doing their, playing their guitar, whatever their talent is, the confidence that comes through with our children when they engage. It's amazing.
Amazing.
Well, you know, and with that, we are going to have to stop. We could talk forever about this, but thank you for joining us on today's program.
Thank you, LAUSD and the board, for supporting the arts.
Great. And with that, thank you also for joining us on Families Matter. And please visit our family websites, families.lausd.net and parentaccess.lausd.net. Your involvement makes all the difference. See you next month, and remember, families and the arts really matter. Thank you.